Welcome, everybody. It is Moneyline Madness. We have a lot more than I think we expected to talk about today. We had some news break a little while ago. We had the Knicks yesterday. We had the Celtics yesterday. We got the playoffs, obviously, in the NHL.
A lot going on, man.
Baseball going on. I don't even think we're going to talk baseball anymore.
I'm good off baseball, dog. Right. I had Yankee tickets Friday, and I literally was like, yo, I do not care about the Yankees in the slightest bit at all, bro. I am all about Knicks basketball right now. Shout out to the Knicks. This is the shirt that was on my seat Friday. So, yeah. So I pulled up. Obviously, me and Simo, we were gifted some tickets. It's got
Simo was everywhere, man. He was,
we were in whatever that was. Like,
I don't know whose video that was, but shout out to them, man.
I got the little Willis Reed, RIP to the man. But yeah, I said I want to talk some Warriors. I mean, honestly, it's good. It's probably good for Andy B and Simo that we don't talk Mets, because on the ride home from the Knicks game, Simo was telling me about how the Mets are the best team in baseball right now. And then you guys drop what?
What time was this? What time was this?
This was before the loss. This was as you guys were up, right? 5-0 or something?
At that time, I kind of felt like we were the best team in baseball. So I get it. No, I mean, look, we don't have to talk baseball. We'll talk about baseball in the summer. Our teams will be healthy. They'll be fine. But we've got playoff teams, man. I mean, our teams very possibly might match up. I know you're looking forward to it.
Yes.
Personally, the way the Celtics have played, I think they're using the Sixers as a get right. I mean, they're going to need to right now. And I mean, they got to finish off their series. You said it yesterday. They were playing with their food. They were. They still kind of are. They need to win, obviously, the last game. They'll probably do it by a lot more now that Dejounte Murray's not playing.
I mean, so that whole Dejounte Murray situation. Now, I'm not sure if you've seen the videos. I'm sure you've seen the ones of him pushing the ref. Yeah. Have you seen the other ones of Jason Tatum? That him rushing into a referee, kind of pushing him to the side, and then going to argue with another referee as well. I'm not sure if you're familiar with those ones, but
no.
it did happen, and I'm kind of like, did this only come to light being that it went viral with Dejounte Murray and the Jason Tatum one didn't? So I don't know.
Here's the truth about that, though. And I'm a Celtics fan, so I'm a little biased towards it. Jason Tatum's not being suspended for anything unless it's egregious. If Jason Tatum did what Dejounte did, not being suspended.
All right, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to share my screen for the people that didn't see the Tatum one.
I have not seen the Tatum one, so this is new to me, too. But Tatum's always had this issue, too.
Right here. You saw it. He even calls the foul, and he still pushes. Like, that's contact. Now, whether we like it or not, that's contact. And now Dejounte Murray, contact as well. It's like, we can't have a gray area, in my opinion. It has to be a lot more black and white. Murray's warranted a suspension, but at least a fine, in my opinion. I mean, or do you mean it didn't warrant a suspension, but at least a fine? Or did it warrant both a suspension and fine? Because I feel like if you're going to do one to Dejounte, you got to at least fine Tatum. Because you can't making contact with a ref used to be so, that was it. You couldn't even touch, not even put your hand on Buddy's shoulder, or else you would be, called
You
for
still
attack.
Can't in baseball. I want to be clear. If you touch a ref, an umpire, in baseball, you are ejected immediately. But the one thing I will say, and I agree with Aimeen, you can use the thought that maybe Tatum thought it was a Hawks player. He wasn't maybe looking directly at him in the heat of the moment. Dejounte seeked out that referee. That's I think it's a lot like we talked about it with the WNBA or the women's college basketball, how she seeked out Caitlin Clark. Like, it's like that. It's clear what his intent was.
For sure.
Look, it's a lot like the guy with Pete Davidson yesterday. Like, his intent was to piss him off,
bro. That was crazy. Buddy wanted in all of Pete Davidson's pictures. He wanted a picture with Pete, and then to be in the other pictures of Pete, taking them with other people. Like, that's crazy, bro. That's
and I love Pete. Pete seems
Everybody
like a good guy.
Pete.
It's tough to piss Pete Davidson off, but that guy was literally, it looked like he was going to kiss him on the cheek.
Yeah, no, it was really bad. He was rubbing up on his shoulder, getting really close to his neck. That's
maybe he had one too many. I don't know.
Really weird. He might have. The Knicks games have been lit. I can't blame him if that's the case. But no, this Dejounte Murray thing is extremely, extremely I wouldn't even say suspect, but he's a bot, bro. We saw it last offseason. You remember the Summer League clips when we saw him in the Drew League and whatnot, and he was dunking on people. He was dunking on a random dude in the YMCA. This was a LA Fitness pickup game. He dunks on bro and just giving him head top and goes up and pats him on the head. You remember that? This is just constantly Dejounte Murray attitude issues. And we talked about it in the group chat a little bit earlier. When you're giving up that many picks for a guy and he comes in and he just has shit running down his thighs when in the heat of the moment, that's not it, bro.
There was another guy who had shit running down his thighs in the heat of the moment. You want to segue to that one?
Yes.
Donovan Mitchell, man. He was...
Look to me. Because Donovan Mitchell... Oh my goodness. Imagine giving up 7 first-round picks just to have that guy clamped up by Deuce McBride in the biggest game of the season. That's incredible. That is incredible that you've spent all of your assets for that guy and you're about to lose to Deuce McBride.
Well, we have a little breaking news. Jason Tatum will not be suspended, but the NBA announces for contact with an official. So that was an alert I just got. So he will not be suspended. He's not going to be in that situation. So
wow. What timing? But anyways,
I know, really.
Donovan Mitchell. I thought you were actually kidding because it was that crazy timing. But Donovan Mitchell is seriously, he might be a fraud. And I'm going to be honest, Jalen Brunson's better than him. If I'm starting a team right now, I'm taking Jalen Brunson before I take Donovan Mitchell. And that's just the facts. It's about time that we give Jalen Brunson the respect because he is performing at a top 5 level of this playoffs right now. Name me 5 guys in this playoffs playing better than basketball.
I can maybe name you DeAaron Fox because I know he had lights out.
DeAaron Fox been going crazy.
I'm sure you could look. The Sixers probably had somebody, but other than that, no. Jalen Brunson's been the story in my opinion in the playoffs so far. Yep. And it's partially because he's playing for a New York team. I get it, but look, the Knicks have not done this in so long, and it's not a coincidence that it's when he came in. Right. Yeah. He has been the reason they are here. They have a good team, but Jalen Brunson's played like a star. There's no doubt. I know I didn't expect it. I was laughing at them. I'm one of the people. I apologize. I'm sorry, Jalen Brunson. I did not expect.
Sorry.
I did not expect him to be what he has been, nor even close. Yep. So they didn't overpay. They underpaid because it keeps going down now. They did a great job. Good for them. I still don't know. We're going to talk. I still don't think they can win the finals because I don't think they'll get through Boston. But I do think this is a team that one or two moves away from being the team in the East because it's not a very strong conference. So
at this point, I mean, you look around. Milwaukee banged up. Miami obviously banged up to an intense degree now with Victor Oladipo tearing his patellar tendon and Tyler Hero, your hero. That's just, you hate to see it to somebody like that.
Obviously you're rooting for Miami, but would you be concerned even if it was the Bucks right now? The way the Knicks are playing, I don't even know if I think the other two teams are capable of beating them at this moment.
The depth that the Knicks have is something that I've never seen on my basketball team in my life. This is easily the best New York Knicks team that I have ever seen and witnessed.
You know what it reminds me of?
The other best team is that playoff Melo team. This is different. This team has that depth that team didn't, and that's what's leading them. I mean, it's just constantly playmakers out on the floor on both ends. You go, Quentin Grimes isn't out. Well, Deuce McBride and Josh Hart are ready to give you valuable minutes in the playoffs. I mean, when you have a guy that you can call to as your 10th man to come off the bench and be your 9th man now, and he ends up clamping Donovan Mitchell, I mean, you just can't. It doesn't get much better than that.
When we talk about the future of the Knicks and in terms of the East being as weak as it is, I mean, look, I'm a Celtics fan. I'll say it. I don't think the Celtics are nearly as good as they are right now because I think Jaylen Brown. I mean, it's not a coincidence who just got hired in Houston. We've heard smoke. Where there's smoke, there's fire. Jaylen Brown to Houston hasn't just become a thing, right? That was a thing beforehand, and now that they have his former coach Ime Udoka, look, we've made fun of him enough. He's coaching again. That's not a coincidence. So the East is gonna get weaker, and the Knicks are gonna have money. The Knicks are only gonna get better. I've put it in everybody's head. I want Anthony Edwards here. I think he's made.
I got two guys, and Anthony Edwards is one of them. And I mean, I don't know if that's a low bar because let's not forget that season the Knicks were the 2 seed. They'd won 55 games. They were legitimately one piece away from winning a finals. I mean, you just had the big 3 in Miami to go through. Otherwise, obviously Roy Hibbert game with Melo and whatnot. But realistically, it was the Knicks, Miami, and Indiana, and that was a toss-up between the Knicks and Indiana. It was just who can get through Miami. And no, just like you're saying, man, like the Knicks have all the pieces to where we're one star away now, one player away.
Who was the other guy you said?
Ready for this one? Brandon Ingram.
All right. I agree he would be a big upgrade, but if you're giving me Anthony Edwards or Brandon Ingram.
No, Anthony Edwards
okay.
And then they had Amari and Melo.
Anthony Edwards is 1A, and then
Amari punched the fire hydrant or the fire extinguisher. Remember Amari?
He didn't play, right?
Fire extinguisher, broke his hand, was out the last 8 weeks of this regular season, and Melo carried them, I think, to like a 28-11, type of record through those last games that he missed. Second half of the season.
Movie Trainwreck.
Yeah, right. But no, the Knicks it's incredible. Either of those guys would be really nice. And I also just have to call out the Cavaliers real quick, being that first off, JB Bickerstaff is awful. He stinks on ice. He keeps playing. He doesn't have much to work with because their wing depth stinks. Isaac Okoro can't hit a shot, and then who else do you have to turn to? 50-year-old Danny Green? Or
they don't have wings.
Cedi Osman, who can't hit shit.
A lot of Cedi Osman hate.
Yeah, he stinks on like he
does.
Is hot ass.
I don't
think I've seen him hit a shot this year.
Here's the thing: he was given the LeBron stamp of approval when he was there, and
he was
a
an
good
Austin
young player
Reeves type guy because he was white and had a couple moves in his back.
And he was a good young player, but he never got better. Like he just stayed where he was. And when you're 20, being decent is okay. When you're 26, you have to show me something, and he hasn't.
No,
I don't know how he still has an NBA contract. To be honest with you,
but one thing that I have to call out on the Cavaliers is the duo of Evan Mobley and Jarrett Allen, because holy cow, both of these guys are getting outplayed by Mitchell Robinson. A guy that has zero offensive bag is outplaying both of you on both ends. This is crazy. Like Julius Randle, I expected to come in and be physical with Evan Mobley. And to an extent, he hasn't even gotten that physical. He's not hitting the hole the way that everyone wants him to. But, he's still banging and clanging when he can. Now, Mitchell Robinson is just sunning both of these guys. First quarter yesterday, Mitchell Robinson already had 8 rebounds. Evan Mobley and Jarrett Allen in the first quarter combined for 5, bro. Yeah. 5. That is just insane. And it's effort, too. It's not even, for the most part, being in the right place at the right time. He's out hustling and out playing both of these guys in terms of his effort and his heart.
Yeah. In terms of this game, it was the Cavs' only time of hope was the third quarter. Like they in the third quarter, they dominated. I was watching the game very closely for reasons I won't share. I was watching it very closely, and I was like, the Cavs are going on a run, and it looked like they were dominating them. And then just out of nowhere, it was just the Knicks went off. And Obi Toppin, I want to give him credit. He played almost, I think, the entire game and just went crazy.
So you watched the end. Shout out to Tommy Tibbs for playing Obi Toppin, giving Obi Toppin the minutes, and benching Julius Randle when necessary, because
I noted that,
and you see him settling for jumpers, you got to turn to the other guy in that case, because that's not Randle's game. He shouldn't be relying on his jump shot that much.
The only time where I thought the Cavs had a shot was they went on a very good run in the third quarter, and it looked like they were actually going to run away with it, and then just stopped. And the Knicks just went crazy. Obi Toppin got
called timeout. Brought Obi in the game. Changes the pace entirely. Obi comes out, and the Knicks are running and gunning constantly. You have Hart, Quickly, and Brunson on the court all at once with Obi Toppin and Hartenstein, and the Knicks are everywhere. Like they're swarming. No matter where you turn, there's somebody that is shifty or explosive, and it's been too much for Cleveland to handle. Now I don't know if you saw yesterday, but that one possession where Obi Toppin got the offensive rebound, had Donovan Mitchell on him, took the ball out, reset the offense, and took Donovan Mitchell to the rack.
Yeah, I did see that.
Like,
there were a lot of possessions where I was like, Donovan Mitchell's not competitive right now against the Knicks. And like, you say what you want about what he got traded for, and look, we're gonna look back on this offseason and say, well, what the hell were these GMs thinking? Because Gobert got traded for what he got traded for.
Seems like a lot of panic buttons, right?
There were so many. It was a lot like that season where the salary cap went up like 25%, and Tyler Johnson was getting like nearly $100 million. It was just like that. And we're going to look back on it. We're going to be like, what were those guys thinking? And I think that'll change now. But this offseason, kind of the two teams that The two teams that are still left in the playoffs, but they're down 3-1. The two teams down 3-1 right now, actually, other than even the Hawks too, they added a player who they gave up a lot for him, and they're not that big of a needle mover here. So,
no, and now it's like, where can any of these teams go after this? They really have nowhere to go. And meanwhile, the Knicks are better and in a better position.
Here's the truth about all these teams I just mentioned. Look at what we're talking about with the Timberwolves. Where's Anthony Edwards going to go? What we're talking about with the Hawks. Where's Trae Young going to go? They have to trade their stars because their backup, their number twos are making so much money, and they gave up so much for them. So, yeah, this offseason we're going to look at it, and we're going to be like, wow, what happened? But speaking of that guy, Anthony Edwards, I watched him since college, love him. He is a star, and something that's impressed me, I don't know if you watched his interview, his character change. At Georgia, he was a bit of a hothead because he was the only guy, right? And when he came into the NBA, it was very like, does he even want to be playing basketball? He said something about wanting to go to the NFL when he was a kid and like whatever. But his character flip, he is. I mean, if you starting a franchise right now, I think he's my guy. I want him.
Well, no, I think it's Giannis, but I respect it. You know, if you have to handpick, but we're talking about guys under like 22. What is he? 20, at least 21,
I think
right?
He's 22 now.
He's 22, or we'll say 23 and under, because I'd say that's the age where like 24, you have expectations now. But I think you look at this, and exactly what Imaine says here. This is Anthony Edwards saying, I'm ready to take this next step of being the guy and leading a basketball team. I can professionally lead a franchise, and now I'm showing you that. Like, Cat is not that guy.
No, we knew
Cat
that,
to be handing over the keys this way, like, Anthony Edwards has that type of stature now to where it's like, all right, he's carrying himself as a captain, as a leader, and I think that's him doing that to appeal to other franchises.
I think that's what I was just about to say. They've put them. Look, the Gobert trade, we've made fun of it a ton. It put them in a position where the future of their team is you're either trading Cat or you're either trading Anthony Edwards.
Yeah.
And Anthony Edwards is the only one that's going to give you real value, right?
Yeah.
When you eventually get to that point, I don't know when that is. That could be next year. It could be the year after. I don't know. But there's going to come a day where it's going to be Anthony Edwards or you're the Portland Trailblazers. You're stuck because you keep holding on to one guy. And I think Edwards would fit perfectly in New York. Apparently, a lot of people do too. I saw that as like a thing on Twitter, and I'm happy to be a part of that. Like, I think he should be the Knicks' first thought when they think of the next guy. So, yesterday he was a star. He kept them alive 3-1 in overtime. I think they're done now. I think
you got your one ant game. That's it.
That's what I needed. Look, if I had to pick a favorite player in the NBA right now besides the Celtic, it's obvious. There's nobody even in the running right now. It's Anthony Edwards. I love the guy. He has changed a ton. So good for him. Star. That interview actually was like, wow. This is like, he was giving credit to everybody. He was like telling guys to shoot. Nickeil Alexander-Walker. He was like, you were 2 for 2 from 3, but why did you stop at 2? Right? Like, I love those types of things. So the NBA right now, it's been a great playoffs to this point. The Kings and Warriors series is great.
I was just gonna say, with the news of that's the only thing that's really like, you know, like 2-2.
Who's gonna win?
You finally get a good series, and then all of a sudden, DeAaron Fox fractures his finger on his shooting hand.
I think is that it? I think it's the nail in the coffin, unfortunately, because he's gonna miss the game, right? He's doubtful, right?
Yeah.
So he's probably gonna miss at least the next game. I didn't think they were gonna win tomorrow anyway. I think it's tomorrow. I think this will still go 7, but I think the Warriors will persevere. I love this. This Warriors team always seems they're gonna figure it out in my eyes. What they're doing with Draymond, I love, because they know it's time to move on from him. So they're kind of getting other guys playing time and they're younger guys to get in there, and I love that. So,
and Draymond's okay
probably
with it. Like, where can we see Draymond this season, like, or this off season?
There's a team that's in my head, but I don't know if they have any money. It's Portland. Like, is this a guy that like they take a risk on and like maybe him and Dame work together? Like, I don't know. He's not a free agent guy anymore. Like, I don't think he's
crazy.
A guy
like who. If you're a franchise out there,
you take on meetings and stuff. Like, he's not a guy who's taking visits. He's a guy who wants me, and like 4 or 5 teams will answer, and he'll wind up on whoever pays him the most, which he should. So
I don't know.
It's not what I once thought he would be. At some point I thought he'd be like a guy like, I don't even know, that would be that guy that you take on visits. You want him there. That's not true. Draymond is not retiring before he plays. He's not playing another game after this season in Golden State. And I don't care how good the podcast is because I like it. It's a good listen. He ain't retiring yet from basketball. He's gonna be somewhere else. I just don't know where. I don't even know.
What about
when
Sacramento?
we in the
play
summer,
small ball with him at the 5 and Sabonis at the 4, and the Kings are just like trying to be the new age Warriors with DeAaron Fox?
I don't know
Sabonis.
Because in the summer when we talk about like NBA free agents, I don't even think he'll be on our first 5. Like,
we got to respect, Dre Monster. I mean, come on.
I mean, maybe it's just because NBA free agency is more just trades now, but like I still think it's something, because if you're a smart GM, you're trading guys before they hit free agency, which is usually what happens.
Yeah, I mean, something about the Warriors, man, like their luck in the playoffs. Yeah. They just get the biggest breaks, dude.
Yeah, last season's finals, that was
Yeah. I mean, Jason Tatum in a big moment, everyone knows what's going to happen there. Like, obviously, he's going to shit his pants. Then you look before that, just injuries, obviously the Kawhi injury, everything like that. Like, come on, man. It's crazy.
A lot of, the West is very, because the Clippers I thought would give them a battle, but then once Paul George and Kawhi are gone, there's no shot, right? So
this is just like, West, is it time to blow them up? Are the Clippers cooked?
Who's taking those guys? Neither one of them can stay healthy.
Yeah.
I don't think he's walking. If you're 34 in the NBA, you're still getting 15, 16 million. You walking away from 15, 16 million? I don't think so.
He's being groomed for TV. Yeah, no, he definitely is.
No, he's not being groomed
as the
for
next
TV.
up, like Kendrick Perkins.
He cannot be a TV guy. He curses far too much. He's going to be a great podcaster, though. He has a good show, a lot like JJ Redick, but
I can't see him conforming to like ESPN.
No, you're not going to see. You might see him do some TNT spots. He will be a podcast guy, and he should be. He's great at it.
I need him with Kenny and Charles and Shaq. And
well, that's why Kevin. They tried to do that with Kevin Garnett, and Kevin Garnett just he can't not be himself, and he shouldn't. Right? Yeah. And Paul Pierce is kind of the same way.
But also Kevin Garnett, they really tried. Remember when he spun the wheel and he was like the word that he tried pronouncing? I don't even remember what was it that he tried.
I don't remember the word, but I loved KG's. Like, what did they call it? Area 21.
Area 21, yeah, because he was number 21, right, with Minnesota.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Could be wrong. I know he was 5 with the Celtics, which, I mean, look at the numbers up here. You see 5 everywhere.
Yeah.
I just realized that when I was looking back there. So, there's other news that happened today outside of basketball. I don't know if you've heard about it. It happened about an hour before we went on, and I thought I'd bring out the jersey because this is probably the final time I'll give a shit about this jersey. Yeah, man. It's this is no longer. He's number 8. He plays for the Jets now. And what do you feel? Because what is your thought about this? Because I have a personal thought that I'll get into after. But what did you think when you first saw the deal? Because obviously we knew this was going to happen. So there's no shock value. We knew it was going to happen. How did you feel after seeing what the Packers got back? Because I have a person.
For a team that had 0 leverage, you can't ask for much more than what the Packers had gotten, right?
No.
For a team
I
that
thought
you
they
thought,
had leverage. I see, from right there, I do think they had leverage, and I don't think anybody else really thinks of it this way. But look, the Packers, either way, they were going to either have a guy who was never going to play for him, and they were going to have to eat $40 million,
exactly,
or they were going to have a guy who doesn't play for him, but they got some picks back, and they were still paying him a shit ton of money because he's still going to be paid by the Packers a lot this year. So either way, they were going to be paying a lot of money to Aaron Rodgers. The difference was, but the problem with the Jets is he put them in a shit position. He made it clear that was the team he wanted to play for. Yeah. He put it in everybody's head. Nobody else was going to go after him at that point, and he made it so that the Jets had no choice. Their fans, look, I love Jets. I love New York fans. I love when New York fans are awesome. They would have been at Joe Douglas's door had this not happened. So they had to make this deal. The Packers, they didn't. Look, they wanted to. Obviously, they did not want to lose Aaron Rodgers for nothing, and they didn't. But to get back what they got, it shows you who had the leverage. The Packers had the leverage.
No, because I think that conditional pick is absolutely massive.
Here's the truth about this conditional pick.
Yeah.
If it doesn't hit, then the Jets had a bad year because then he didn't play, right? And Zach Wilson be your guy. So they I don't love the word fleeced, but they got him. If Aaron Rodgers doesn't play 65%, the Jets suck.
Yeah.
And if he does play 65%, I still don't think the Jets are a Super Bowl contender. I think they're a playoff team, mid-20s pick.
I mean, the AFC is loaded. It's like, are you really going to beat
that's why
Bengals,
I don't think they're the best team in their division. I still think the Bills are better than them. I think the Bills are going to get better. this weekend, and I don't think the Jets have the capability to get better anymore this weekend. They don't have a first. They don't have a second. They have a third, but I think it's later or it's middle. They don't have a pick that's going to get them better this weekend. So this is your team, the Jets team, as it is against the Bills, who have a good first-round pick, and I believe they have an early second-round pick. They can get better. So look, I hope the Jets fans are happy. I don't expect him to be Aaron Rodgers. He was not Aaron Rodgers this year. He was hurt a little bit, but he's been hurt every year now. Yeah. He's had little nagging injuries even when he won MVP. This time, it came to the point where the Packers weren't able to win. You want to see a team that was a very talented team that just didn't win? It was the Packers. Their defense is great, and their defense played
really
well
not
most
many
of the
injuries
year.
Like that either.
No, the defense was really solid all year. Their offense, obviously, it has young receivers, but go look at what the Jets have, guys. Young receivers.
They're
good.
Year two guys
They're
that
all
are going to
good
be relied
guys.
on now. Like Garrett Wilson, there's a huge expectation for Garrett Wilson to be a #1 receiver on a playoff team right now.
That's how
right now.
There's been situations where that doesn't work out, and I'm not saying the Jets aren't going to win. Look, Jets fans should be happy, and I think the expectation is you're finally going to go to the playoffs. They have the longest playoff drought in any U.S. sport right now. That's going to change. They're going to go to the playoffs. If they don't, the Packers are going to have a great pick next year, and I'll be laughing in everybody's face. But for right now, you got to be happy. You're a playoff contender. I don't think they're a Super Bowl contender because, look, are you better than Mahomes? No. Are you better than Burrow? No. Are you better than Allen? Probably not, but I think there's a case there.
Yep.
You're probably the 4th or 5th, and I think Lamar being back for the Ravens, I think you're not as good as them either. So I think you're the 5th best team, probably a wild card. I think it's great. Lazard being there is great chemistry, but Lazard's not that good of a receiver. He's more of a tight end, honestly. He's a great blocker. He's not great of a receiver.
So, and like you're saying, there's just no area where the Jets now can get better. You knew that you were getting at least one first-round pick, but now to spend the 42nd pick
Well, actually, I am wrong. They do have the 15th pick, so they do have a first-round pick, so they have one pick to get better this weekend. Who knows what they do with it, right? But what are you thinking that's going to make it?
I have a feeling they trade back for more picks.
That's all possible.
I think they're going to try and flip that maybe for a third and like a fourth.
Yes, that would be a smart business play, but the Packers can get a lot better this weekend. In terms of, look, we talked about it a lot for the Jets. For the Packers, look, might make the playoffs, probably not. It's Jordan Love's first year. Do I expect anything? No. I don't know. I expect him to show me that he'll be an NFL player. That's all. Win me 7 games, right? Maybe I'll feel like that's maybe 6 to 7 games, and I'll feel like, hey, this isn't no.
You're gonna take 4 to 5, and you're gonna like it,
dude. If you go 5-12, we're getting a new quarterback in there next year because then we'll have a good pick. And look, next year's quarterback's hell of a lot better than this year's quarterback. Yeah, Caleb Williams is gonna be a MVP in his first 3 years in the league. So am I a guy who wants to see the Packers tank? No, but a wink to you, I wouldn't mind it at this point because he is a star. But yeah, I think from their case, they can get better. Stetson Bennett will be an injury. Don't be surprised if one of these two teams takes him because he is a project. He is a backup probably, but he'd learn from Aaron Rodgers or he'd be the Packers backup for the next 10 years, right? I think for both teams, they got what they wanted. The Packers got a great deal, and the Jets got probably 1 year of Aaron Rodgers. And look, from the personal side,
it's just so much to spend to me. Like, it is such a cost to not have a guarantee.
It is. And look, the only guarantee to me was if somebody traded for Lamar Jackson. I think for you'd get 3 great years of Lamar. Otherwise, you probably, because of the way he plays, whatever. But you would have
we're not even talking about great years here. We're talking about Aaron Rodgers over the hill, with young receivers, a hurt running back. Like, what really are the expectations? And I get that, Double R, the supply and demand, totally. But if you had a shot at Lamar Jackson, if you're the Jets, I would rather my team go all in to at least have something building than for a rental, essentially, in Aaron Rodgers, who is old and deteriorating, and now you even have a clause talking about how many games he's going to play. Here's this is just such a risk.
I know it's
something that you don't know for sure is going to give you more than 10 games of wins, and even I don't know.
I know it's frowned upon, and I know the movie Draft Day makes fun of it too. Trading 3 first-round picks is unheard of, right? But you basically just traded 2. If you have it your way, you're trading 2 first-round picks because you don't want him to play less than 65%, right?
Yep.
You're trading 2 first-round. Why wouldn't you just throw in another one and see if you could get Lamar? I think there's more value to that. Then the Packers would have been completely screwed. I don't know who they would have gone to next. Doesn't matter. I think he probably would have just retired. Maybe the Niners go after him, but whatever. But I think both teams are happy, but I think one team's happier, but everybody will laugh at us for being happier as Packer fans. I love Aaron Rodgers. What was our record last year?
Yep. This was well needed. Lamar's being blackballed. There's a wink-wink deal going on with the owners.
I agree with
Lamar. Yeah, I think so. I think so as well. The Deshaun Watson deal really ruined the league in terms of what quarterbacks were going to get paid, and now I think that's causing a lot of under-the-table deals. It is, but it's a contract, right? Like this wasn't even a team making a stupid decision because another team fleeced them. Like this was unwarranted type of stupidity.
I can respect this one though. I can respect when you make a mistake on your own, right? Like when you sign a guy to a ridiculous contract, I can understand that. Like you made the mistake. But when some other grown man who worked as hard as you did to get into your position as a GM completely tricks you, like the Mets got tricked by the Giants, like when you get tricked like that, that's when you lose your job, in my opinion. So I can respect the Deshaun Watson one a little bit more than the Rudy Gobert one. But it did ruin the league, in my opinion, because in my opinion, every football player should get all guaranteed money. I think it's so stupid that they don't. They play the sport you get hurt in the most, which is why they don't, but they deserve it. So it's weird, but
I agree.
I think the NFL also this week, we'll talk about it hopefully Wednesday.
A little draft.
The draft is going to be great.
It's going to be
I'm
exciting.
happy. I got 3 picks in the top 50. Let's go.
Well,
man.
I was going to say we'll do maybe a little mock of our team the first few rounds. You know, maybe up to that 50th. Essentially.
Totally.
I know some other people.
I also have a little. I only put $5 on it because I'm not irresponsible here. Darnell Washington, tight end out of Georgia, my guy, love him. First round pick. I put him. It's straight up even, so you win 5 if you bet 5. I put it for him to be the first round pick. I honestly don't know if I want him to anymore because I kind of want him to be a Packer, but he is not going to be the 13th pick. So. Watch out for him, though. He's
pretty. Yeah, so what's this Derrick Henry deal? Because this is getting a little annoying.
That's not. I'm sorry. I'll believe it until I see it. Right?
Yeah, we're just getting these tweets. Like we're just seeing tweets.
I did a video that you'll see on the Most Sports accounts. I think the Eagles are in the first 10 picks, so you'll see that probably tonight.
They are. Yep.
When we post that, I have them taking a running back or a receiver in the first. They have 2 first-round picks. I have them taking a running back or a receiver. So. If they don't, that'll tell you maybe Derrick Henry's a guy.
Yeah, definitely. I'm with that for sure. Some of my friends, like I have a Giants group chat on Twitter with a lot of fans.
Do they do all 7?
Bro, they go through the entire draft and trades, and they're like, "Oh, we traded with this team," and I'm just like, "Bro, this isn't. It's not gonna happen."
I can't. I did that I did that in the COVID year. Remember the COVID year when we had nothing to do? We were at home. I did it. I did like all 7 rounds, and after I was like, half of this shit's not even gonna happen. Yep. And I was like completely wrong on all of it. Like you can't make a trade in the 5th round. You don't know who's calling who in the 5th round.
Yeah.
Who knows what teams pick before that? Like it's so weird. I don't know. But I am very excited for the NFL draft as everybody else is. Can't wait for my Pizza Hut that day.
I've done several 7 rounds. Yeah, that's just like when you're up late at night and you're just on 2K drafting. Right, like my teams, you're just drafting a different team just because, like, why not? Or like a my league. Yeah, I feel that. Though.
That's crazy.
I feel it, but I'm super excited for the NFL draft. I don't know if you have anything else left to add.
One more thing. Go
ahead.
The Rangers Devils tonight. I know everybody's.
Oh, okay.
Well, I know the hockey won't get it over quick. Rangers Devils, they're playing a great series right now. The Rangers won the first 2. Devils won the next one in overtime. I've got a little parlay tonight. It's a little crazy.
A little lay. Okay.
Not too crazy actually. I've got under 4.5 goals scored. So if it's 3-1, that's 4, right? So do your math there. Under 4.5 goals, that's fine. I've got the Rangers winning, and here's where the twist comes in. I have the Rangers winning the game. I have them the under 4.5, but I have Jack Hughes, the Devils star player, great player. I have him scoring a goal, and that's where it gets crazy. It goes from like plus 200 to plus 5,000. Once you throw in the losing team to score a goal, it goes crazy. So if you were to put $10 on this, you could win 500. I, on the other hand, I'm only putting 5 because I'm not stupid. Because the chances that it happens probably low. But if I come on here Wednesday and I'm really happy, you'll know.
There we go. You'll hear it.
But I'm rooting for the Rangers. My brother is a Devils fan up there, so we're about to watch the game. Very excited.
Nice. Big things happening. I know everyone in the tri-state area is really hyped this
it's
one.
Hot.
So it's
dude, everywhere. We got basketballs hot around here.
You got
football,
Knicks and Rangers are heating up. Like there's a lot going on.
And look, we cast a shadow on it. The baseball teams are both in second place, I think, right?
Cruising. Yeah.
So they're both cruising. In kind of early cruise control. The Mets aren't healthy. Like, we'll get to them when we get to them. I'm going to the game Saturday as long as it doesn't rain, although it looks like it's gonna rain.
Nice.
So excited to see Citi Field.
Yeah, let's do it. Well, like you guys heard, we will be back Wednesday with another episode. And tomorrow night, we're going to be back with Mo Sports TV, getting a little more in-depth on some of these topics alongside Simo and Ed. So we'll catch you guys tomorrow. And, yeah, thanks for tuning in. We appreciate you.
Hell yeah.
Take it easy.